What's up, guys? It's Michi here, and that is Mad About Michi on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, IG. Make sure you guys follow me, Mad About Michi. I used to do tutorials all the time. I stopped for a while, but I am back, guys. I am back. I'm gonna do a short tutorial. This one is just basically gonna show you guys how to adjust your wig units. I get a lot of people who ask me like, how can they make their wig unit smaller if it's too big? And I've been kind of like thinking about it. Okay, how can they, adjust their wig unit if they're just basically purchasing a standard wig unit and not so much as buying a custom unit? Because we all know custom units can get very expensive. We're talking $700-800, even in the thousands. But you can get standard units for $200-300. The price is very inexpensive for a standard unit, but sometimes if you have a smaller head, it won't fit. Now, some people say that their units are too small, but it's very rare that a unit is going to be too small. Like me, I have a bigger head, and units, they're just not too small. They're more so too big. Like the units fit my head perfectly, honestly. I don't really have to make adjustments. But if you're saying your unit is too small, then you may be putting it on incorrectly, because units usually will be bigger before they're smaller. So I'm gonna show you guys. This is one of my wigs that I made. She's been through it. I just got her out the drawer, so she's dirty. She could use some tender loving care, but I'm gonna use her as my model today to show you guys how to actually adjust your wig units and make them smaller if they are too big. So now we're talking about a wig unit that actually has a closure on it. The closure that you see right here, the small piece of lace. So we're not working on units that have a frontal on it. I've explained frontals, closures in other videos, so if you're confused about the difference between a frontal and a closure, make sure you guys take a look at some previous videos. But we're gonna work on making a closure wig unit smaller, okay? And so this is how this one looks on the inside. I made this one on my sewing machine. And now I'm gonna show you guys how to make it smaller. Again, this one fits my head fine, but just for the sake of helping you guys out, I'm gonna sacrifice my blonde wig. I'll still be able to wear her, but I'm gonna sacrifice her. So what you wanna do, pretend this is your head, okay? So this is your head. What you wanna do first and foremost is put the unit on your head, okay? Again, you're not putting it on a mannequin head. This is you, okay? So you should be looking in the mirror as you're watching this video and putting your wig unit on your head. So I'm just putting the T-pins in her so she'll stay. Now, what you wanna do when you have your wig on your head, this is the back. We're gonna part it straight down the middle, and either using a clip or rubber bands, you wanna separate it into two sections. So this is what you should look like from the front, like you have two pigtails, but you're basically just separating it in the back. Okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your unit, like from the top of your head, and you wanna actually grab the lace. Go in between that hair, grab your lace, and pinch whatever feels too big. You wanna pinch that, okay? Again, my unit is fine, but if it was too big, I would pinch it. But kind of pinch it down here, because what we want to do is pull that extra elastic down here, okay? We don't want to pull it up to the top because you want your wig unit to still be flat on the top. So what you want to do is grab any additional cap, and you're going to grab it down at the bottom, and you're just going to simply put a clip in it up against your head, okay? You're just gonna put a clip in it because you want to grab any additional wig cap that you want to cut off, okay? So you want to grab that, and then you want to take your wig unit off. I'm just gonna keep this on my head for a second. So now I'll show you on the mannequin. We're gonna grab whatever will go in my hand can come off, okay? So you want to grab that because that's excess wig cap, right? Excess wig cap, so that's what you want to come off. But I want to bring it down some because we want to make our stitch down at the bottom. You want this to stay how it is, so I'm gonna bring it further down to the bottom, okay? Close to the back of the wig. This is excess cap. So this is what you want to do, okay? So now, take your wig off of your head and put it on the mannequin head, okay? Put it on the mannequin head. I should have told you in the beginning that you need a mannequin head. You need a mannequin head, you need shears, and you need thread and a couple of hair clips, about 3 hair clips. Sorry guys. Okay, so when you take that clip off, you're gonna count how many tracks that was inside of that clip. Okay, so I'm gonna count the amount of tracks that was inside that clip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I had 6 tracks inside of my clip. It does not matter how far apart or how close your tracks are. We are basically just determining how much we need to cut off, okay? So I need to take out 6 tracks width, okay? So now, what you want to do is separate those tracks away from the rest of the hair. So I need 6 tracks off. It's almost impossible to measure it by inches, so we're measuring it by tracks. Be sure to separate it evenly. So the hair I'm pulling up is the hair that I don't want to take off, okay? And make sure you separate it evenly. Wherever your track starts, you want to end it on the other side. And yes, you are going to lose hair off your unit doing this, but you can always sew more hair back in. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that's what I said, 6. 6 tracks were in my hair clip, so that's what needs to come off. So these are the 6 tracks that I counted, meaning this is the excess wig cap. This is where all the excess wig cap was. So I'm gonna clamp this just to keep it separated. Then I'm gonna get all this hair out of the way because you don't wanna make a mistake and cut off anything that's not supposed to come off. I hope you guys can understand what I'm doing here. So now this is where all my excess wig cap is. So now what I'm gonna do is go in with a pair of shears. Starting from one side, you have to cut that out, okay? So at the top of the track, where the excess wig was, you want to actually cut that whole cap out of there. Cut close to the track. Do not cut the band, only cut the cap. Now I'm gonna come underneath and cut this. Just to make it easier. So basically you're just eliminating all those tracks from out the middle. Don't cut the band. Cut right before you get to the band. Whew, I know that's a lot of hair, but you can sew it back in. You literally can sew this back in. And you want to make sure that when you're cutting off your excess wig, that you're not cutting hair off the top. You want that top to remain intact. Any like mishaps or mistakes or imperfections, they will be totally fine in the back of your wig unit, but you don't want to screw up the top of your wig cap. And if this is a service that you do not feel comfortable doing, simply ship it out to me. I'll do it for you and send it back to you. The only thing you will have to do is measure your wig cap on your head. Put the clip on there so I will know how much of the cap I'm supposed to be taking off for you. All right. A lot of hair. And mine seems like a lot of hair because I stitched the tracks super close together. Some of you may have only taken off 2 tracks, some of you 3 tracks, some of you 1 track. It just depends on what size you're trying to take your wig unit down to, okay? So don't be afraid or think you're just about to lose a lot of hair, because again, this hair can go back in, and that's a whole nother situation, but it can go back in. So you should have this hole in the middle of your wig like this. So the hard part is over. So now all you want to do is literally close this stitching up. That hole you put in the middle of your wig, you just want to close it up. We can let this hair down. She's out of the way, she's safe. We won't make a mistake and cut her. So we can just let her hang, just so you guys can see exactly what you did. So this is the back of your unit. This is the top. Now we're just stitching it in the middle. So you want to start stitching from front to back, because any buckling that you may get because you're adjusting the size of the wig, you want it to be in the back. Anything that goes on pretty much back here is fine. You just want to make sure your top stays flat. So you want to make sure you start stitching from the front to the back, but anything buckling, anything like that, it's okay back here. As long as the top is flat. And do your stitching close. And my suggestion would be, like when you're putting your clip on, when you're sizing it, try not to make it too tight. Leave some room for error, because you don't want to make it too small, because once it's too small, it's really nothing you can do about it. So, you know, just try to leave some room. Don't try to make it too tight, because remember, you're going to be wearing braids under this unit, so you want to make sure there's enough room for the braids. Then you want to go to the other side, do the same thing on the other side. So now, as you guys can see, the unit is starting to come together. You pretty much can't even tell that you removed some of the cap. It just looks like the wig was stitched this way. A couple more stitches and I'll be done. Just secure it. Now we're going to take her down so you guys can see what you did. Now you want to brush out our units. Get all that loose hair out of there that you cut off. It's still hanging around. And there you are. She's still flat on the top. And she is smaller. So here you go, a much smaller unit. Didn't cost you a dime, just a little bit of your time. Just take your time. There's no rush. So I'm sure some people will be saying like, well, you lost the hair in the unit. You kind of got to make up your mind. Either you want a smaller unit or you want to keep all your hair. But remember, you can always go back in and stitch more hair in. And what you want to do is stitch the hair in the back. And I'll make sure I show you guys that on my next video, that you can put more hair in your wig unit even after you make it smaller. And I'll just show you a close-up so you can just see how the unit looks on the inside where we stitched it at. You can see a little bit where you stitched it at, but that's nothing that anyone else is gonna see. To me, it looks fine as long as the unit is still wearable. If I didn't have this one on, I would put it on. But you guys just have to trust my word. But it worked out perfect. So I'm glad to be back with you guys making videos, and I will see you guys again in the next tutorial. Again, be sure to follow me on IG, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, at Mad About Michi. See you guys soon.